Hello everyone, my name is David Mongielo. I live in Lockport, New York in Nagra County. I'm here to explain to you today on how I feel that elections are basically fixed before we even get into the voting booth. Also what's going on is politicians are controlling the Board of Elections by giving selected people jobs, working on the voting machines, deciding who's counting the vote, the people that are making the decisions on who ends up on the ballot. These elected officials think they're untouchable. They can virtually do things like that. For example, here's a little video I took of the Board of Elections when I went in there, because our own town board member right there, Sherilyn Kowiak, she's working at the Board of Elections. And her husband, how conveniently, works on the voting machines. This is really important. Residents need to understand this is going on right here in Nagra County, New York. I'm sure it goes on in other places around the country. But please try and understand how this process works and how it can be fixed. It can be fixed very easily. I'm going to start out with here's a sample ballot locally. This is an election that's going to be coming up in the next week here. You will see, of course, the parties on the left-hand side, and you see everybody running for the selected positions across the top. Well, I'm sure you've noticed when you voted in the past, you're seeing a lot of familiar names, and usually these names are on every single line of the ballot. So really, you do not have a choice. The choice is basically being made for us when you are actually supposed to make the choice who is running for office. Local elections, you see county legislator, clerk, district attorney, family court judge, councilman, superintendent for highways, so on and so forth. Now you see Republican, conservative, working families, independence parties, and you see the same name under every party. I never quite understood how this worked until the past couple years. Well, what is going on is elected officials are actually becoming elected into a second position so they can actually control their own endorsements. They actually carry petitions from alternate parties. For example, you see the county legislator here, Rick Updegrove. He actually has carried petitions here for the Conservative Party. A lot of these people, they elect in these positions, and some of these residents don't even know they're elected in these positions, and they prefer it that way because then they put some of their friends on these committees so they control the endorsements, so they end up with that line so they can have an advantage when it comes to election. Conservatives think this is a person chosen for the conservative values when it actually isn't, for example. Same thing, Independence Party, and so on and so forth. You can actually see his signature there in the bottom, Richard Updegrove. It goes on. This goes on throughout the nation. This in New York State, it seems to be a little worse. Why do you think we're in the issues we have? Here's another one. Here's a Sherilyn Kowiak. This is a conservative petition right here. Another one is I think we got a town clerk here and so on and so forth. So when you look over at this ballot, here you see Sherilyn Kowiak, and she's actually registered as a Republican, and she actually has the conservative line. Isn't that odd? There's an interesting website I got out there. It's called nagrabythepeople.com. If you register with this website, there's a great video on here. It explains the process throughout the nation and the country, states, counties, towns. It's all there. It's all the same. They call it different names. It's called precinct committeeman. Committeeman is New York State. Precinct captains. If you search precinct captain on YouTube, you'll find a lot of Obama stuff. This is what Obama used. He energized this grassroots form of government to get elected. If you log on to my website, become a member here, you can actually go to Know Your District Committeeman. And when you're in there, you can actually pick, this is mostly for the Nagra County residents, you can pick the town, the city, wherever you actually live at. There's a all-party county list and a county executive committee list and a judicial delegates. These are people that choose our judges. I found out about this last year. It is very alarming. Our elected officials are choosing our judges when the residents are supposed to do that. That is very wrong. Residents can easily become judicial delegates. We need to take back our grassroots form of government. Judicial delegates, committeeman process, and so on and so forth. This is actually separating this country and removing the voice of the people by the politicians basically corrupting this process, in my opinion. For example, I'm going to go here in the town of Lockport open that up, you can actually see a lot of elected officials are on this, and you actually see a lot of people that have selected positions and some contractors through local government, because these people have special interests, so they want to control the endorsements of selected people. And here you go. Richard Uppergrove, he's actually elected, he's our county legislator, he's actually elected to endorse candidates. You see town board members here, you see supervisors, so on and so forth. This is an alarming, a very disturbing process that goes on that the residents really need to understand. Here you go with alternate delegates. You have here Marcus Hall. He's a town board member in the town of Newfane. He's also George Maziar's secretary, and he's also a judicial delegate. A lot of these names I'm not familiar with. Haven't been involved long enough. Here's Scott Kudrowski. He's actually used to work at the Board of Elections. He's actually a judicial delegate too. Glenn Arno, old legislator in Nagra County. He actually worked in the State Senate Supervisory's office. Now he's working for George Maziar's. Brad Marble, he's a town attorney. He's a judicial delegate. How can these people go in front of attorneys, go in front of judges if they're the ones that are endorsing them? It's quite interesting seeing the connections here. Here's Patty Weiss. She's a judicial delegate. She's a Republican committee leader in the town of Wheatfield. So you understand the connections. The politicians in control, they want to control what's going on. They want to control the judges. So basically, if you have any complaint against rights, constitutional rights, anything, you really can't do anything, because these politicians, if you have something against them, they control it. So just to show how important this elected position is that these elected officials are getting into, and just so you know, it's very easy to get involved in this. I actually became an elected Republican committee man, so I actually got to sit in on endorsements of elected officials, and I asked over half of them to recuse themselves, because I said, well, if you don't endorse some of these people, you don't get paid. Isn't that a conflict of interest? And they said, they told me to sit down. So that's what goes on behind the scenes that we really don't know. Thank you for watching. Please check out the rest of my videos. I have them on the mylockport.com website. There's my contact information, my phone number, email. Please log on and register at the website. We'll keep you informed whenever new videos come out and information going on around the community. One very important video I try and get everybody to watch is this one here called Project 2010 Primary Challenge from Leonard Roberto. If you get a chance, please watch that video and stay tuned for more videos and check out the next one after this. Thank you.